Ah. We're going to have to replace our towel rack. As you noticed, it fell off the wall. These have been fixed several times. The anchors have come loose. So, it's about that time. We're going to remove the old ones and put a better anchor in, or at least one we hope that will work better. We'll see how that goes. Only time will tell. And this one seems to be a little stripped out. We're not really worried about damaging these because we're going to replace them. I do want to show you something. You can see that very well. Screwdriver is probably not the right one for the job. It's a little too pointed. Probably needs to be a little flatter. But since I don't really care about these screws, I'm going to use it anyway. And these are actually, so look at this. Okay. So it's not a bad anchor, but where it had been repaired before, and these anchors are so large, they were actually on top of each other. That's a big hole. So I need to decide whether I want to put it here or if I'm going to move it. See, it's been here before. We've moved it up, pulled it out again. So this time I have a better product. So this time we're going to try a different product. These are drywall anchors, 1/2 inch. They're plastic toggles, but they're going to open up. If you can see, when you screw them in there, they open up flat, creating a wider surface area, and that should help hold that better into the drywall. These are actual drywall anchors. I have another plan if this doesn't work. It tells me to use a 3/16 drill, and it works for this wall, but it's supposed to hold up to 143 pounds. But we have quite a hole here. So, I'm thinking I'm going to have to relocate this. Decided to go down. Here's our original hole. We're going to come down here where I can get some better sheetrock. Never mind the weird color paint. I'm getting ready to paint this room, so I'm not really worried about the colors here or the hole, because I'm going to show you when I paint this room how to fix that hole. I'm going to come down, and here I can see the plaster from the previous one. We're going to come down to 35. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting up this anchor. I'm going to use my original ones. I'm going to use this one. We're going to have to take some vice grips and pull those out. But we're going to put our next anchor, we're going to put it in right there. Just to show you something, so we've got our screw here has come out of the wall. The whole anchor came out of the wall. I need this bracket because I'm reusing everything. So I'm going to use these. These are called vice grips. And what you do is you turn this, put them on whatever it is you really want to hold tight, and you turn this and it tightens it way down. And when you need to break it loose, you use this little thing to break it loose. So I'm going to hold this anchor with these channel locks. Put on there. Okay, that should hold it. And I'm going to use my screwdriver. And this time I have a flathead because our Phillips has stripped out. So now I'm going to try to hold this, and it's moving in my channel locks, so I can tighten them down a little more. Okay, there we go. Slow and easy. You can't like jerk it really hard or anything like that. You go slow and easy because you don't want to strip out this flathead like the Phillips has been stripped out. It actually got stripped out when it was being installed, which happens sometimes, and there we go. This is working out really well. It's almost out. You see how that works? Channel locks are a pretty amazing product. They give you a lot of torque, and those of us who lack hand strength can really use that. All right, there we go. There's our line. So I'm going to make sure that we keep it perpendicular and parallel to where we need to be. I'm going to set up a level. If you've never used one of these before, there is a bubble. And here's the bubble. This bubble, when it is level, the bubble will rest in the middle. So that's level. That's what level looks like. So we're going to put our anchor here, and it really doesn't matter. You could do your hole. You could put it here. As long as you did it on both sides exactly the same, it really doesn't matter. But now we need to, according to the directions on the bag, drill a hole with a 5/16 of an inch bit. Now I have some bits. And if you look at the bottom here, it will tell you what the size is. Now I know our lighting isn't the best. I'm actually standing in a bathtub, but it will tell you here what the size is. I also have this really cool gadget, and it tells you on there, I know you can't see it very well, but it tells you on there the sizes, and you would just take your drill bits and try them in the holes until you found the one that it fit. So this one would tell you what it is. Okay? See? There we go. So that one is a 1964 or something like that. So it's a really nice gadget. So I'm going to use my Black & Decker drill. I really like this one. It's a really good product. For the money, you can't beat it. And I'm going to put my hole, because I've determined that my bracket is going to go there, and that is going to be one of my holes. I'm going to make that my top hole. All right, so just have to make sure that I line up with my previous hole, and then I'm going to measure across to make sure that I have the right length. Here's my bracket, and there's my hole. I'm going to set this bracket over it because I'm going to mark for my next hole. They're very close together. This does make this really tricky. These holes are. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one and get this bracket up before I do the other bracket. So here's what it looks like. So what you're going to do is, when you go to put it in that hole, you're going to push this and stick that in the hole. Then when the screw goes in, it catches and pulls all of that so that it pops out like this. Because as the screw goes in, it's going to push that away. And as it pushes it away, it's going to spread those out. So now I'm going to tap these into place. Started just a little bit. Then I'm going to start the next one. Now, get these going, started. Be easy, put some pressure. You don't want to strip these out. Don't get one down until you start the other one. All right, a little bit each. Don't tighten them down yet. All right, there we go. Pretty strong. And there's really not a top or a bottom to those. Mine isn't exactly 100% straight, but it'll be okay. It's the bracket is very forgiving. So now we need to get our distance from one point to the other. So how I'm going to do that is, and I'm going to show you how these things work. There's a little overhang lip on one side and a little screw on the other one. It takes a tiny screwdriver. And this one's been on here before. Like I said, we're just reusing this one. You're going to have to probably loosen it to get that out of the way. And you're going to hang the lip there. And then when you get it loose enough, it's going to fit. There we go. Fits flush. I'm not going to tighten that up yet. I'm remembering finding my distance from this one to this one. Okay? So I have my rod, have my other end. This is the way I would do it. You could do some measurements. I like to take and push it over, put the rod on there. This one on this end. You have a lot of give there, you see. We want to have it flush tight, okay? And I'm going to put a rough mark here. Just want to see where the top is going to be and where the inside will be. Remember I said I'm going to paint this wall? So I'm not too worried about that. There's the outside of this piece. Now remember we had a little play and give. That tells me my bracket's going to have to go under here. Here's my bracket. It's going to have to go right in here so that it's level. So really my distance from here to here is all I'm really worried about. So it looks like it is about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to come down 3/4 and I'm going to make a mark. This is the easiest way I know to do it. Ladies, works for me. So again, I'm going to double check everything. Make sure. Let's double check this. Because this could move back and forth like this. So, but once you get it in there and get it screwed down, it shouldn't move around. Again, my Black & Decker drill. Oh, what do you know? I actually hit a wooden stud. That's actually good news. I won't need my anchor where that hole is because there is wood behind there. And that's the best thing you can have to anchor to. I do need to check that hole because this could be a stud that goes across to a beam here. It's probably one that goes up and down. I don't understand why these didn't hit it. Not quite sure what happened there, but we're going to drill the one right below that. Same thing. And there's actually wood chips coming out. I have a good strong mounting surface, so we may not even need anchors on that one. And luckily the screws that came with it will thread right into wood. And there I can feel it. So that's great. I won't need to use anchors on this side. Oh. Okay. Now I don't want to drill that all the way, screw that all the way down until I get my second screw in there. And I had a really long screw in that previous one, and if I can get this one going, it was a little stripped. I'm going to use it instead because that 2x4 is right there. So let's get this going. Make sure this is straight up and down because you have a lot of play. All right. Back it up a little bit. I got a little crooked. There we go. There we go. Should be really strong. So now we can add our towel rack. One side, just put it over there. And I'm going to go ahead and get it close, but I'm not going to snug it. I'm just going to start it off. You really can't snug a whole lot because these are really thin. But I am going to get it to where it won't come off this way, but it does move a little side to side. I have a little play because I need to do some small adjustments. I'm going to put this in. All right, there's my adjustments. I need to go a little to the left. There we go. Now I can snug this a little more. Snug this side up. And there we have it. Both sides tight. Very snug bar. If you've liked this, if you think you can use this and this has helped you, just click that subscribe button down at the bottom. Stay tuned for more of these, and thanks for tuning in to My Younger Life.